Love is in the air on this Valentine's Day here at the Big A. It's another Saturday. Pam upstairs in long shot. She's out. We have the best customer service department in the business. And how about the Kehoes, lifelong racing fans enjoying lunch and an afternoon up in Equestris watching the racing. And of course, the beautiful thing here at the Big A, the flowers are always in bloom. We'll seal that shot with a kiss. Spring will be right around the corner before we know it on a day. We're hovering around 25 degrees, but we are off and running on this edition of Aqueduct Insider. It's Jason Blewitt, Richard Migliore. We hope you're having a great Saturday, a great Valentine's Day, and we have got a lot to talk about on the show tonight.
A lot of great racing here from New York, some from down in Maryland. We're going to get to all that. Of course, weather is in the news. But first thing, order of business for me is I got to wish my brother Michael a happy birthday, a Valentine's Day birthday for him. So, Mike, happy birthday.
A great guy, loves the game. Oh, his passion, watches this show every night. Big fan of your brother Michael. Now, let's get to the first order of business. Monday's card, well, we hope to be running here on Monday. Yep. Sunday's card, in fact, because after all, it is a President's Weekend at Aqueduct. Sunday's card has been canceled. We hope to be back at it this coming Monday.
Yeah, the forecast looks much better Monday than it does for tomorrow, Sunday. I think Naira did the right thing by getting out ahead of this and canceling. A lot of other racing jurisdictions have canceled already, too. And as we're taping this, the snow is coming down. I'm hoping to make it home okay.
No, we hope you make it home in good shape. And keep in mind, both the Big A, the Belmont Cafe, Naira Rewards, as you can see from that graphic, will both be open for simulcasting tomorrow. 9 races scheduled for Monday, President's Day, with the first race posted at 12:45. We will keep our fingers crossed. Now, a man that needs no luck or doesn't need anybody rooting for him, it seems like the great Hall of Fame rider Gary Stevens. A new milestone yesterday out in Southern California. 5,000 wins in North America and counting.
That's just a huge number, and he got it in style yesterday. I believe that was a horse trained by Richard Mandela, and just another milestone in a career full of milestones. You said he doesn't need luck. Well, luck got canceled on him, unfortunately.
Right.
That was the series on HBO. But 5,000 is a magic number. I mean, it's a number that I always aspired to. Unfortunately, injuries derailed me from that. But 5,000, pretty impressive.
Yeah, rarefied air for a man who's just an icon, who's won just about every major race you would want to win as a jockey, and it's just good having Gary Stevens around. Of course, we're nearly 2 years removed from his first comeback race and then going on to win the 2013 Preakness with Oxbow. And speaking of the action down in Maryland, like the Preakness, well, their President's Day weekend stakes have always been good. The General George on Monday, and what happened today down at Laurel in the Barbara Fritchie. It was a solid field, older fillies and mares, and here's Dave Rodman off the quarter pole.
Lady Sibylla, Princess Violet, Sam's sister is driving in the center of the track in third. But Lady Sibylla is still there to the final furlong. Laurel loving Lady Sibylla. 3 on top from Princess Violet. The others just running along for third position. Lady Sibylla, Princess Violet keeps on trying. But here's Horatio Caramanus and a 6th Laurel win for Lady Sibylla. She loves it here. Princess Violet, Expression, Sam's sister.
She loves it down at Laurel. 6 wins over the main track and speed to spare and just a front-running machine.
She's just in raging form, and I thought maybe 7/8 was stretching her a bit, although now she is 2 for 2 at the 7/8 distance, and you see with that distinct extension blinker, but the form she's in right now, and Horatio Caramanos gets along with her so well, and just once again, how dangerous speed is.
Lady Sibylla is trained by Robin Graham. She's a mare by Majestic Warrior, whose claim to fame as of now has been the sire of Princess of Silmar, but he's got a good one sprinting down in Maryland currently. And not a bad effort from Princess Violet from Mike Hushin in defeat.
A terrific performance, especially from post 1. Tough post at Laurel, leaving that 7/8 shoot. Like most shoots, it's difficult on the inside horse, but she ran a terrific race.
And this is a card, at least early on this show, devoted to top-quality filly and mare sprinters, because we come right home here to the Big A and anchoring this 9-race program, the 36th running of the $100,000 Broadway. These are New York-bred older fillies and mares as we go up to Travis Stone for the call.
And they're off. Penny Mine, not the best of starts, out to the back of the pack. Atlantic Smile racing on after that. Lead Uncle Southern on the outside away second. Blithely toward the inside is out in third as the field races up the backstretch. Atlantic Smile, fleet-footed early, opens up to lead by 2. Uncle Southern content back in second. Vicky's Dancer on the outside running in third. Blithely's now fourth toward the rail. Isabel comes away fifth, angling toward the outside. Penny Mine advances up into sixth. Make the Moment is at the back of the pack in seventh, about 8 lengths off the lead as the field hits the far turn run. Atlantic Smile's first quarter solid, 23 seconds flat. Uncle Southern in pursuit, second and outside. 3 wide for Vicky's Dancer. They're both putting in bids outside the quarter pole. Blithely in behind, racing in fourth. Isabel is fifth and only 2 lengths behind. As the field hits the top of the stretch, Vicky's Dancer with a 3 wide sweep up for the lead. Atlantic Smile is fighting on, and toward the rail is Blithely trying to sneak up on through. Isabel is on the outside, hanging in there too with 1 furlong left. Atlantic Smile digs down deep, holds on to that lead. Vicky's Dancer couldn't get by. Here comes Isabel on the outside. Make the Moment dives down toward the rail. Here comes the wire. Isabel got there. Isabel, the 1-length winner over Atlantic Smile second. Make the Moment was third, and Vicky's Dancer.
This is our first Aqueduct race on tonight's show, but the one constant trend today, early speed and speed just winning just about everything. Isabel was the exception to the rule, and she's just sensational taking the Broadway.
Yeah, she really is, and you can see how determined she is. Her ears are pinned. She's heading for the wire. You could see Junior Alvarado tried to have her in the game. He tried to put her up in that position, and this mirrors the results of the last time these fillies met. And, you know, Blithely had a tough trip last time. Well, she had a better trip this time. It didn't matter.
Junior
Isabel has her measure.
And not to cut you off, Junior had his A game today, was prepared, knew the track was favoring speed horses in his earlier mounts, and he won a race earlier in the day. Race number 7 came right back and caught up with the Mig, in fact, after getting off Isabel on the Broadway.
Junior, it looked like you worked out a perfect trip behind the speed. You had to be very happy with your position.
Yeah, I mean, I actually, because the track's been, very fast. So I was thinking, try to brake and try to send in a little bit to make sure I get a good position, make sure, the other fast horse, use more speed to get to the lead. But, I mean, she broke good, and then, I got a little bump out of there, but, I got a lot of horse that, she helped me, to get in a good spot after the bump in the first part.
How important is it when you recognize that the track is speed favoring to get position, be aggressive early on this track?
Yeah, I mean, it means pretty much like 90% of the race, you pretty much can, got all the race right there, and that's like, I mean, I've been, today I haven't been that lucky to ride like horses with speed, but, like, they're being closing for me, at least the couple one that I rode, but yeah, like I said, I was just trying to be closer, it didn't work out the first part, but I mean, she's a nice filly, Billy Ma, done such a great work with her, Riley too, and I mean, I'm just really happy to get it done.
I don't know if people realize how difficult it is. You had an injury in the fall to come back and ride as well as you ride, and maybe you can talk a little bit about the work it took to do that.
Yeah, like at first, I'm like a very competitive person. I'm like, I beat myself. I watch myself sometimes, and I can even win a race, and I say like I didn't look myself good here. I have to, and that's what I all the time try. Coming back from an injury. I know sometimes people like they're like not sure about it. And that's what it makes me like proven that that I'm right to ride races.
Well, you've done very well proving that already, and you're riding great. Congratulations.
Thanks, Richie.
2015 looks very bright for Junior Alvarado, who's got his A game, was sensational riding today at Aqueduct. And look, with Isabel making it 2 for 2 off the trainer change and layoff to Bill Mott, she sets up what could be a pretty big year in the older filly and mare state-bred sprinting division.
It's a pretty salty division. We were talking off camera about some of the names. Artemis Agritera, obviously. La Verdad. You got Isabel now. Actually, Princess Violet, who was just second in the Bar Fritchie. A lot of strong names in this division. And you know what? I think that you can look at New York breds on a whole and say, wow, you know what? They compete anywhere.
And state breds were, in fact, the star today on today's card. We ran the Broadway and split divisions of a solid New York bred 3-year-old maiden special weight. We'll give you group number 1, if you will, right now as we backtrack to race number 5 and send it upstairs to Travis Stone.
And they're off. Good start. Elmra mid-pack, Verisimilitude far outside. Here's Ulysses down toward the rail. Those 3 fastest out of there. Court Dancer comes on to be 4th. Officials running in 5th. Champagne Ruby is now 6th. Keep Bustin' shuffled back to last. Heading up the backstretch, Elmra comes on through to take a clear lead with a half-mile to go. Verisimilitude on the outside is now 2nd. Here's Ulysses 3rd toward the rail. Court Dancer hovering to the outside, racing 4th and now 3rd, 3 wide onto the far turn. Champagne Ruby's another 2 lengths farther back, about 4 lengths behind round the far turn. Keep Bustin' and Officials at the back of the pack as the field rounds the far turn. Verisimilitude now with the lead after a quarter in 22 and 4. Elmra couldn't keep up down toward the inside. Court Dancer swings wide, and here comes Court Dancer now up alongside of Verisimilitude, and and these two are off the turn together. 3 lengths back, here's Delicious on the inside, Champagne Ruby on the outside. Official trying to come up the rail, 1 furlong left. Verisimilitude is back in front. Verisimilitude has retaken the lead from Court Dancer, who's fighting on. These two down to the wire. Verisimilitude inside, Court Dancer outside. Here's the wire photo finish. Tight on the wire between Court Dancer and Verisimilitude.
I'll tell you, man, the photo finish camera was needed in today's 5th race. It was Court Dancer and Verisimilitude, 1-2 down to the finish line.
Watching it the first time, I actually called the inside, so I guess in some respects I was correct, but the camera could not separate them. And I always find it amazing. You can run 6 furlongs, 3/4 of a mile, and hit the wire exactly at the same time. I mean, I think it's remarkable.
It is remarkable. The inside seemed to have an edge today. Would you say that, though?
Yeah, I think
and
so.
it seemed evident to me with Verisimilitude, who looked like she was in deep water just about every step.
Yeah, and it looked like a bit of a conveyor belt where the track was carrying her even though she was struggling. And, you know, give it up to Chucky Lopez for clearing the field from post 8 and making the rail. Now, we know Chucky likes to lead, but I also like the way she finished on this filly.
Well, both these horses were stepping up, trying this condition for the first time, and we will see New York breds through and through for the remainder of the Saturday edition on Aqueduct Insider. And what about the $200,000 guaranteed late pick 4? We'll talk about it after this quick timeout. Welcome back to the Big A. Horse blankets galore and grooms that are covered up, braving the winter elements. They make their way over on the main track. They will head down to the paddock and, of course, rock and roll and compete on the inner track. Cold days here on the inner track, but I think it underscores just how tough New York horsemen and New York horses are.
Oh, absolutely. You have to be tough to deal with the elements and make the show go on, and the show must go on if the elements cooperate. But the grooms and the hot walkers and all the backstretch workers, they're the unsung heroes. They really work hard. They're there 4 o'clock in the morning, and they love their horses, and we really need to give them as much appreciation as we can.
And a quick thank you to all the horses and people that spent the day out on a cold Saturday making the show go on, including the starting gate crew, best in the business here at the Big A. Absolutely. But we get them in the gate in the meantime. It's the opening leg of the guaranteed late pick 4, second division of those New York bred 3-year-old split maidens. And here's Travis Stone.
And they're off, and Buddy the Elf with an outside post off to a great start. Buddy the Elf rips away from the pack, opens up a length early. Possessed on the outside, and Organic Gemini, they're second and third by 3. 40 and Lights comes on for 4th. Outside of File for Divorce, and it's a big break back to My Bobby, struggling at this point. Heading for the half-mile pole, Buddy the Elf's in front, but company from Possessed on the outside, so these two knockheads by the half. And the quarter's up in 23 and 2/5 seconds, so onto the far turn they go. Possessed outside, Possessed is in front. Buddy the Elf, second, now half length behind, 3 furlongs left. 5 lengths back to 40 and Lights on the outside of File for Divorce. They're together third and fourth. Organic Gemini swings wide from 5th. A long way back to My Bobby as the field passes the quarter pole with Possessed to catch, and Possessed has opened up. Possessed clear by 5 with 3/16 to go. Organic Gemini through toward the inside for second as Buddy the Elf fades. 40 and Lights on the outside and File for Divorce. But with a 16th to go, it is Possessed with a 3-length lead. Organic Gemini's coming hard. Here comes Organic Gemini. Can Possessed hold on? Maybe. Tight on the wire. Buddy the Elf third, 40 and Lights fourth.
Well, Charlton Baker was involved in the dead heat in race 5 with Verisimilitude, and he was nearly in a second consecutive dead heat with Possessed, who just had enough left to hold on there by a whisker over the one Organic Gemini.
Well, when I'm watching the race, I'm actually thinking, well, okay, Dylan, you got it, one, take it easy. Good thing he didn't stop riding a little bit because he needed every ounce of that horse to get home. Looked like he was home and cooled out, and then the one horse kind of got out of the kickback, settled suddenly, and really finished under Junior Alvarado. Good horse race. The other thing that stands out, Dylan Davis looks exactly like his father, Robbie, finishing on a horse. It's uncanny. The seat, the way he whips, the way he hand rides. It could be Robbie. I'm seeing it all the time.
And he is actually planning after this winter inter-track meet at Aqueduct to get back to Kentucky. He'll start riding a bit of Turfway and then focus in on Keeneland and Churchill Downs. Won a lot of races on that circuit as a bug rider. And I guess he feels he has a niche on that circuit at this point in his career.
You know, I guess so. The thing that I hope, and I really, this is my word of advice to Dylan, wherever you decide to hang your hat, stick it out there. When you start bouncing around too much, people start not thinking you're not going to be there or they don't count on you as much. You got to dig in and stay in one place and work hard.
Tensinder, the one that was flattered with the effort by Possessed. Of course, Tensinder fourth at a big price in last weekend's Withers. Possessed had been beaten by him last time out. More Statebreds, though, and 9 races, Mig, today. All of them were run at 6 furlongs. We'll stay at that same distance, and we've got the same, of course, voice upstairs, and it's Travis Stone with the call of the Statebred allowance race.
They're off. Moonlit Sonnet stumbled badly coming out of the gate and tossed the rider. Moonlit Sonnet has tossed the rider. The rest of the field heads up the backstretch. My One Love down inside with a narrow lead. Town Kitty second and outside. These two have sprinted away 3 lengths on All Love Me, who's back running in third. Jasmine Gem is now fourth. Rockin' Cozy fifth and toward the inside. 6 lengths to make up with a half mile to go. Then it's Nani Connie about 7 or 8 lengths off to lead. 3 lengths farther back to Mabry's Girl, who's well behind in the early stages here. And Moonlit Sonnet tossed the rider at the start. 23 flat was the quarter. They round the far turn. 3 furlongs to go. Here comes Town Kitty to crank up the pressure on My One Love. My One Love holds on to that lead, though. These two still 5 lengths clear of Jasmine Gem, who's back racing in third. Nani Connie comes wide for fourth. Rockin' Cozy is down inside fifth. At the top of the stretch, and Town Kitty has taken over the lead. Town Kitty's in front, trying to pull away. My One Love second toward the inside. Jasmine Gem is on the move and is closing from third. On the outside, Nani Connie is fourth. Down to the final 50 yards. Town Kitty is desperate for the wire. Jasmine Gem, a final try. My One Love toward the inside. Town Kitty, the upset winner. 2.5 lengths on the wire. Jasmine Gem was second. My One Love was third. Nani Connie finished fourth.
4 full replays. Isabel's the only winner that made up sufficient ground off the quarter pole as we get to another outside speed horse in the 9, Town Kitty, who ran like a horse who should have paid $5.80 and not $58.
Yeah, she's a pretty decisive winner. I guess the poor race last time in similar company. She did break her maiden up at Finger Lakes impressively, but this is a good, strong ride by Victor Santiago, who put her right in the game and had her right on top of the pace, and I thought he finished pretty strong on her, too.
Jimmy Ryerson, the winning trainer. Will we have a pick 6 carryover into Monday's card? We find out as we send it back to Travis for the calls of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 9.
And these two hit the quarter pole together. 3 lengths back to Perfect American. Bred to Boss has made good ground. It is now fourth and toward the inside as they're in the stretch and heading for the 8th pole. Forest Boy puts away Sharifko. Bred to Boss continues to gain ground toward the inside and is now second as they head for the final 16th. Forest Boy driving on a 2.5 length lead. Bred to Boss second, continuing to close, running out of time. Forest Boy the winner. 2 lengths on the line. Bred to Boss, good effort second. Farther back, Perfect American or Snapper is tailed out of it. They're off the turn now. Kitchen Police with a 2-length lead as they straighten away. Agua's been second. Shot to Win trying to find a way out. Is still stymied down toward the rail. Console's Gotta Go's running in fourth. Sable River is fifth. Deep in the final furlong. Kitchen Police still with a 2-length lead. Shot to Win, a final try with Agma on the outside. Here comes the wire. Kitchen Police from start to finish. 1 length in the end. Shot to Win was second. Agma was third. And Face is off the turn with the lead. Essence at noon has given way. Larry Boyd down inside has moved into second. It's Perfect too far outside, and Ram Bam there too, heading for the final furlong. Face in front, 3-length lead. Larry Boy back in second with It's Perfect too. Farther back it's Ram Bam and everybody else with a 16th to go, and it will be Face, who wins on debut by 5 lengths on the wire. Tight for second. It's Perfect 2 or Larry Boy. Ram Bam was fourth. Pack is off the turn with a 2-length lead. Sabonic is under the whip, running in second. Truebet on the outside. Woodford Pine. Black Tide dives down toward the rail. Kenny Desires trying to sneak through with a furlong to go. Still anyone's race. 1/8 of a mile out. Pierce's Prize in front. Truebet trying to get by. Woodford Pine. Sabonic toward the rail. Pierce's Prize is still there. Pierce's Prize down to the wire. The 2-length winner. Pierce's prize first, tight for second, Woodford Pine or Trubet Sibal at the rail. These two off the turn together. In fact, Casual Elegance puts a nose in front as they straighten away. In the meantime, Started Up is revving up on the outside and has now moved to second with 1 furlong left. Casual Elegance comes away with a 2-length lead. Started Up, I Knew Your Trouble has given way. On the outside is Jealous down to the final 16th. Casual Elegance on a 3-length lead, and Casual Elegance is the winner by 3 lengths on the wire. Jealous was second. Started Up
Well, even with Town Kitty and Casual Elegance winning in the late pick 4, they hit the pick 6 today, over $23,000. No carryover into Monday's card. Again, we have canceled live racing here tomorrow. Good Saturday for Jimmy Ryerson. He won 2, took the first division of the New York bred maiden 3-year-olds, but it wasn't as close as the second division. Let's get you back to the far turn run. Organic Gemini, who's on the rail, and you could take us through.
Yeah, Junior Alvarado did everything he can to keep him up close, recognizing that the track was speed favoring. When the outside horses, who had more natural speed, dropped over, he gets hit with the kickback, the throw back to the dirt from the other horses, and he really backs up in spite of Junior wanting him to hold his position. And when he backed up out of the picture, you had to think, well, he's done. But when he found his stride and settled into the stretch and Junior was able to get out from behind the leader, he nearly pulled it off. And this was a case of where a rider recognizing the bias, recognizing what he needed to do. The horse didn't exactly cooperate, but then he ran huge the last 16th of a mile.
Very impressed with the way Junior rode today. And even in the 5th race, the dead heat race between Verisimilitude and Court Dancer, Junior did everything from the middle of the pack with Elmra, sensing there was a speed bias. And with the filly, who was around 8-9 to 1, wasn't one of the main contenders on paper, gave her every possible advantage. It didn't work out in the end, but I still looked at that ride going, well, there's a guy that's doing his homework, watching the races and being prepared.
Well, recognizing that that's what you need to do to try to win, and you can't change a horse's style completely. The only thing is you can try to put them in a better position.
Let's move on as we get to the Frost Giant New York bred stand-out on a cold Saturday. I'll tell you, as the card progressed, the mercury just ascended. We wrapped up the day in the low 20s with the wind chill, but the cold did not bother Isabel, who was about to set her sights on Vicky's Dancer in the yellow cap, and she was awesome today in the Broadway. Super impressed with this effort.
Yeah, she was, and I think you said it right. When she set her sights on it, you could see she locked in. Her radar was focused on that, and she went and got her, and this was a really nice performance by her. Much like you see from the Frost Giants, that resolute killer instinct. You want a horse that wants to win, to be the herd leader.
And he's got Frost Giant, one of his stars, running either here Monday in the evening attire or the General George down in Maryland because he's cross-entered. I'm talking about West Hills Giant, and there you go, standing for $10,000 in the 2015 breeding season. And Riley Mott with the win for his dad today. We'll talk about the trainer standings in just a second. What about the rider standings? Jose Ortiz spent the Saturday afternoon riding down in Maryland and rode Princess Violet. And, of course, Erod, he's been suspended all week.
Yeah, so Jose wasn't worried about Erod gaining any ground today, but you know, it might help Erod in the long run just to get a little bit fresher. Manny Franco riding terrific. Apprentice Angel Cruz with a win today, and Junior Alvarado, as we said, riding well.
And Gary Gullo can do very little wrong. Picked up win number 16 today, had a firster in race number 3, gate sharp, well schooled, and that horse showed speed and proved much the best.
Well, as we see, look, we got some good horsemen on top there. David Jacobson, Linda Rice. Gary Gullo seems to be able to win with any kind of horse. Doesn't matter if it's a claimer, a filly, a colt, long, short, first-time starters. He seems he's just a very balanced stable at the moment.
4-way shake. It took them a while. People finally went into the claim box in the racing office, and all the claims were on one horse and one race. I knew you were trouble. Well, she was trouble because she showed speed and completely quit at 3 to 5.
And a 4-way shake for her. She'll be having dinner in Chip Duttrow's barn tonight. You ever have anybody say that to you? I knew you were trouble.
I thought it'd be an interesting hunch play to wrap up Valentine's Day, and we hope that guy has got cash in his pocket before he goes to bed. He loves reading that post parade here at the Big A. The snow falls, and we've got our Monday Stakes preview coming up. On the inner track, the horses will take the day off tomorrow. Back at it, we hope, here on Monday.
Yeah, forecast looks a little bit more promising Monday. It's been a tough winter, no doubt, but I think it was the right call with the severe weather that's expected tomorrow. And I think it's already kind of showing its ugly head.
Well, this is normally the part of the show where we would have our Sunday preview, but with no live racing, let's span the globe. It's President's Weekend after all. Whole bunch of stakes lined up throughout the U.S. and here on the East Coast, we head down to the action in Maryland. We looked at the Barbara Fritchie earlier in the show. What about Monday's General George Bourbon Courage, who finished up his 5-year-old season in a big way?
Yeah, I mean, a big run in the Breeders' Cup Sprint, came from way back, flying home, then came back with a third against the grain of the racetrack in the Cigar Mile. This is a horse that can show speed. He might need some of that speed going 7 furlongs from post 1, but I think he's better if he gets pace to run at. Sheldon Russell's a very patient rider. I think he's going to drop out and make a run.
Here's Jose Ortiz, the Francis Dash winner. Zebros for D. Wayne, who they tried going long last time.
I think Zebros is very much the horse to beat. He prepped last time going a mile and a 16th. Too far for him, but it might help him on the turn back to 7/8. He's 1 for 1 at Laurel with a big win in the DeFrancis. I think they got to get through him to get to the winner's circle.
And I like the move with Misconnect, the gray who on Halloween. Now, granted, on this race and on this day, he was off the dead rail that catches up with the horse on the front end. But I like this horse cutting back to a one-turn sprint.
I do, too, and I think it's going to intensify his late kick. And I like horses prepping in longer distances, cutting back to 7/8. It's a good fit. They have the stamina, and if they can work out a trip, and I think this horse very well can work out a trip, and I think 7/8 will suit him well.
Mike from Queens on the road with Bruce Levine. Kendrick Carmouche listed to ride Misconnect, who's 10-1 on the line. Monday, late Monday, they rarely stick to their post times. Eastern, it's like 6:15 or so in the program. It'll probably run much later than that, but I'm talking about Monday's Grade 3 Southwest. We'll see what the weather is out at Oaklawn. I know they're going through a cold spell starting Sunday. We hope they'll be able to run 3-year-olds, of course, prepping for the Arkansas Derby. And here's a look at the Southwest, or I should say the prep for the Southwest. The Smarty Jones, Mr. Z, took the worst of it.
Yeah, and Mr. Z is a horse that tried to bear out in the race in Los Alamitos, bore out badly this time. John Court hit him once left-handed, and then he had a hard time changing his mind. The winner got an absolutely perfect trip, perfect ride from Mike Smith, but I like Far Right, the winner, because I think he's a handy horse that can work out those kind of trips.
Inside post at a big field for J.S. Bach for the Pletcher barn. The long arm of Pletcher, well, you can't get away, and he'll run one on a Monday out in the Midwest with Johnny V.
Well, he possesses speed. He's got post 1. I don't think I'd be surprised to see him on the lead, and he certainly was impressive the way he won at Gulfstream. We've talked about it, and you know, I don't know if it's a fair assessment or not, but Todd's horses seem to run exceptional at Gulfstream. It's going to be curious to see how this horse performs at Oaklawn.
I think over the last 5 years, the Pletcher barn, 3 for 18 shipping into Oaklawn. They had a horse running Saturday, Golden Lad, in fact, I believe his name was, who was running in their featured stake for all the horses on Saturday. You may want to check out to see how that horse did. But for now, we're sure the buzzer has sounded on this Saturday Valentine's Day edition of Aqueduct Insider. I've got my Valentine next to me. Dark here tomorrow. We'll see you back on Monday on MSG Plus. Have a great night, everybody.